exclusive from NotJustOK.com.
You don't know me, but you ain't looking like you lonely. I just want you to come and hold me. I can be your lover and homie, and I'm not being phony. I just want you to get to know me. Fine girl, push and roll me.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Ogechi Opara. I'm a rising senior at Princeton University, and I just became a part of Lead Nigeria. This conversation is to explore how young people as a whole can be a part of this diaspora.
Towards my final year as an undergraduate, something struck me because I had learned a lot of things by being a member of all these organizations, but I saw a deficit for young people who had a service mindset, people who really wanted to do something for the community. And that's the gap I wanted to fill. I wanted to have a network or a structure for young people like me who really wanted to do things beyond just attending conferences and listening to talk. It's just that simple. How do we get young people from where they are to where they want to be?
My name is Lillian Oyinkansola Ajayi, and I am the founder of Global Connections for Women. The mission of the organization is to create an environment where women like myself who are willing to give back to the community can connect with both young people in Africa or in other areas of the world who are in underserved communities, and really build the gap of, information availability and also mentorship programs.
Hello, my name is Victoria Ogunuka. I'm a Yoruba girl. Faith, you were talking about investing in Ibadan, which is a very good thing. Kudos to you for getting into there. My question is, how do we decide how much of investment we should do in one area?
You'll be surprised how many people have criticized me for focusing on Ibadan. Why not go to Lagos? Everything is happening in Lagos. Why don't you want to go to Lagos? There are like 100 times the number of organizations working in rural areas than you will find in the cities. You want to do things on a macro scale. You want your project to touch 100,000 people within a year. It's not likely going to happen. You're going to have to start from somewhere and then grow as much as you can.
We actually have a chapter in Nigeria, in Lagos. I don't know if I'm saying that properly, I think so. And we are very reliant on social media and technology because that is the fastest way to communicate and just the easiest. Now, having chapters in different countries also kind of reveals what regions are a little bit more developed than others, because access to this technology is not as easy as it is here. Or even if you have a computer, it might be slower. So, I've seen firsthand in these last 2.5 years that I've been with this organization how powerful a medium social media can be. I think that this might bring a little bit more transparency to that process, and it has also involved a lot more youth. And I heard that youth involvement is very needed. And somewhere, in a couple of places, I also read that it's transformed the perception of violent youth to just being more active members. So I'll leave it at that for now, but I think that's one example of one challenge being addressed with the use of social media.
The power of what communication is and what it means to people. Where you're in a developing country where we don't have pipes or running water yet, but people have cell phones and they're communicating. That's how important it is. So we in our organization try to use that to our advantage to reach out not to only people here in the United States, but also Nigerian people who are trying to have an impact on. And the great thing about social media right now is it's instant.
Measuring effectiveness, like how do you for the panel measure the effectiveness of social media? Sometimes
shocking and interesting to see or hear the information or the tweets people would send back to you when you tweet about something. And sometimes I just ask myself, what if these people really do not have the opportunity to relate this or share it with me? Basically because as a founder of the organization, I really want to know as much as we can how we're going to connect people.
Part of the reason why Africa or Nigeria is behind, I believe, is education. And everybody in the earlier panel made that big comment about, education, education, education. If we can utilize this media. We can see that people are truly changing how they see things, how they visualize.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Inkem Ejo, former Miss Nigeria Independence. It's more of a statement to go ahead and piggyback on what the panel has been saying. I think it's really interesting that if you look at the numbers, there's 70% that are 30 and younger, 50% of us are engaged in using internet, and we're using these channels to communicate with each other. Usually when I'm hosting my events or talking with people who are around my age, the issue sometimes is, well, you know, like when you're amongst older people, as a young person, you can't really over-trump the elders. You know, you have to be respectful. Their word is what it is, and within our culture, you have to stay within your lane. It gives you that freedom to state clearly what it is that you are seeing and what it is that is bothering you, and have also your peers be the persons that answer those questions. Because sometimes the conversation can be a little interesting if you're talking to somebody that's older and you're younger, and that relationship sometimes, not all the time, can hinder the productivity of what that conversation can really allow. So I really want to encourage the young ones in the room and my fellow peers to continue in that motif. If you have an idea, if you have a question, if there's an issue within the politics that is confusing you or annoying you, really think of using that round as a means to get information, to get support, and to encourage and start activism that can really affect the people that you want to be affected by.
I believe as a group, what impact we can make, right? But one of the things I do, actually touching on just corporations or organizations, is I work with the different organizations in Ohio. Now, one of the things Africans tend to not do is take advantage of the media when it comes to businesses. And what I try to do is try to see how we can get them visible online, because just going to your little store is not enough these days. People go online to decide where to shop, where to eat, what to do. So we created a network under the West African Development Project, and our goal is how we can pull all the different West African organizations or businesses together and put them under somewhat of a social platform, more like blogging instead of just Facebooking.
Attitude. If you want to be a leader, you have to empower and you have to have a positive attitude. Are you feeling me? Yeah. This is another talk now. I listen to everybody, now listen to me. Because God is talking to every one of you. I can see leadership position in all of you. I can see the next president of Nigeria here. I can see commissioners. I can see ministers in Nigeria. I can see big time Dangotes. You understand? You understand that? I can see here. You must have a positive what? Say it. I want to hear. I want to hear.
Exclusive from NotJustOK.com.
I think one of the ways the government can help laws and help the economy is through tax system. I know in the US here, the government gives them some tax incentives, whereby if you hire some people, they'll give you some reductions. But in Nigeria, they don't have a comprehensive tax system, which is one of the reasons that many people go to law school to read tax law. So what I'm thinking is this. In Nigeria right now, most of the state governments are going to tax system, especially in the Lagos state, where Fashola is doing a great job in that area. So with tax system, I'm pretty sure that if they can work on what they have on ground, Nigeria
was being unified, and And I remember I was working downtown DC. We came all the way from Maryland. Great state, Maryland.
Wow.
There was a woman who owned her own business, and her name was Nikki. She was from Liberia. And I never forget, I would go down there and we would have conversations. She had a hot dog stand, and somebody asked the question, would you want to have a hot dog stand? And someone said, what's wrong with that? She has her own business. You know what I mean? She's her own boss. When she wants to come to work, she can come to work. But I remember one day we had a conversation, she had tears in her eyes. And I looked at her and she said, you know what? We need you. She said, why don't you guys come home and work with us? We need you. There's a lot of things that you can do to make a difference. Okay, instead of, so much coming out of Africa as far as the resources, and as far as the mind. So when we were captured and taken from the motherland, look at what we did. We were robbed of our name, culture, religion, and God, and we helped to build this nation and make it what it is today. But yet though, Africa produced so much, but has so little.
Statement about the police jobs in Nigeria and how to make it better as far as the security is concerned. I just wanted to comment on that because I'm from Jos, so I have a first-hand experience of what is going on when it comes to the security system or what it's been going on since 2001, our crisis, and it's not stopped. It's almost weekly now. And more pay, more people, and more training has not been effective because, one, we have a culture where it's never enough. So as a people, we have a government that is still out seeking aid, even though we have enough in our country to sustain us. We never want to just accept what we have and work with it. So it's also been studies that prove that more pay doesn't really work. So I think reorientation might be a better solution to our problem. Values, change in values is a better solution to our problem as opposed to just giving people more pay. Because that policeman, what they've done is created, number one, besides the bribery, is disenfranchised. I mean, so many women have been raped in my city. It's unbelievable.
For over 5-6 years now, I've never received bribe from everyone, and I'm comfortable with what I'm making. We can still go back home and let our people back home who are police officers, the executive or the big boss, let them know that if they actually start from top collecting bribe, it's going to fall down to the lowest person in the police department in Nigeria. It's a shame because when I went to Nigeria with my wife, who is an American from Wintuka, bus from Lagos to Calabar. Unfortunately, we don't have a camera. The buses was giving money to a police officer. They have a black nylon bag everywhere, whereby they was giving a change bag. My wife was like, "What are they buying?" That they give them a change. I said, "Not that is right." But unfortunately, when we came back to the US, after about a few months, we learned that they changed the rule, no more police officer on the road. I still have the belief we can do it if we use this opportunity that we have today to talk to people, continue doing it, go back home and preach the same that we are talking about right here today so that we can change that country. That is our goal.
NotJustOK.com.
You don't know me, but you ain't looking like you lonely. I just want you to come and hold me. I can be your lover and homie, and I'm not being phony. I just want you to get to know me. Fine girl, push and hold me. Could this be love? Could you show me? I call it my name, I be my name, run to my door.